Hi, my name is Melanie. I've chosen to examine some greenhouse gas emissions data for my Capstone 1 project. This data set was found on Kaggle, and it describes total greenhouse gas emissions in tons between the years 1750 and 2019 for countries and locations around the globe. When I looked further into where this data came from on Kaggle, I found it actually comes from a larger data set that was put together by ourworldindata.org, and they had obtained that data from other locations as well. It's a much larger, more comprehensive data set that the person that posted this onto Kaggle had, I guess, just slimmed down, if you will. Nevertheless, what I examined for my Capstone project here is just a small subset of that larger data set that was posted. So getting started, for my step one, what I did altogether was load data, import libraries, and enable the Colab extension for the widgets that I'm going to use later on in my graph. First thing I did was obtain a summary of the data frame, just to understand what's in there, and found that the numbers are actually numbers. So that was good. And then I described the data to give a sense of what the span was between the emission numbers that were assigned to the countries or areas. So for example, the Americas have been amalgamated into one, and there's other examples of those global regions showing up in this data set as well. Step 4, in order to get a better sense of what the describe function pulled back, I looked at the highest and the lowest greenhouse gas values with countries and years. And what I found is Zimbabwe had the highest emissions in 2017, and Afghanistan had the lowest with zeros. I suspect maybe Afghanistan only has zeros, perhaps because of lack of recording capabilities. I'm not really sure. And I'm wondering if Zimbabwe, if that's maybe comes back as a function of just literally being the last country on the list. Anyways, those are just thoughts. I'm not sure about those thoughts though. What I did in step 5 is define the year rows as a column so that I can use them as one of the axes on the table that is put together at the bottom. And then step 6, I just checked that the column headings worked. And it looks like they did. And then step 6, what I did is I pulled in the filters, the widgets, the time series chart function, and created the interactive plot. And so what that ended up looking like is this plot. And so this was the Zimbabwe curve that I was talking about earlier. Most of the curves look similar. So Afghanistan isn't all zeros. It does. They do have some recordings looks like starting around 1940s, maybe 1950. And let's find an area to take a look at. And that curve is a little smoother. So that's what I put together. Thank you for listening.